Hey guys, I thought this lighting looked really good, but we are in my closet here, so forgive me for my cringy clothing and my obies. I thought that I would discuss something because this is an unscripted video. It's more of a response to some of the news media that I've seen in regards to Lauren Southern. Essentially, Lauren Southern has come to Australia and she's come to visit us. I'm actually really excited. I wish I could go out and see her, but unfortunately I've been really unwell. That aside, I can already talk to people about things that I've seen on the media. And first of all, Lauren Southern did a hilarious video where she asks everybody, should we kill Lauren Southern? I saw some of her news sort of appearances and they were very focused on multiculturalism, and I figured that I could take a spin on this because it's something that I'm interested in and I can see where both sides are coming from as an Australian myself. Now, Lauren is very much on the we should stop illegal immigration and all of that kind of stuff so people know where she stands. And then there's the opposite side who are like, hey, but we shouldn't get rid of multiculturalism, which I'm also for in a way. Now, Lauren was making a huge sort of point in regards to multiculturalism in compared to what's happening over in England right now and other countries compared to Australia. Now, Lauren's point is that multiculturalism does not mean to ignore letting other cultures into your country or other ethnicities into your country, because she feels that they should still be able to come in and become part of Australia, but her point is that they should not try and change the land, which I also agree with. Now, I do like a little bit of multiculturalism. I mean, I have like an obi and a kimono in here, but my thoughts, which I agree with Lauren, is the fact of where is the line? Because if you look at what's happening in England right now, they've got like signs written on the streets saying no whites after 8 PM in the no-go zones, and we do have, I wouldn't really say no-go zones, however there are zones where you feel like you're in a different country, and this is where I'm on the fence because I do like that aspect of multiculturalism. However, I also don't like the idea of people erasing our country's culture, and that's where I'm sort of standing, because I'm like, well, hang on, it is great to experience other countries' cultures and stuff like that. However, this is Australia, and people who immigrate to Australia need to realize that they've got to sort of I don't know, they've got to sort of adopt our culture. We have values and stuff like that that we should be applying to foreigners as well as ourselves, and that's where the line should be. I find it a little bit concerning that there are areas where, for instance, I used to live in near St Albans, and in St Albans it's basically Somalian, Vietnamese and Russian, I believe. They're the main three sort of gangs around that area. And then if you go to where I live, it's very Western, like we're very European and all that kind of stuff. Now, I also used to live in like Footscray, which is also Vietnamese, Greek and Somalian, and there's a lot of Islam and stuff like that, and I used to enjoy that part of it, like the whole atmosphere about it. However, there is also a push for Sharia law in Australia, and there's also a push for, like, well, not necessarily a push, but there is a problem with African gangs, and like there's even like the whole Romanian gangs. There's like gangs of different cultures who are like basically not treating Australia as what they should when they come here. So I'm not saying that people should abandon their culture either. I just do understand where Lauren's coming from with that thing. Now, I also think that there are certain parts of cultures that are good to bring. Like, for instance, there's a lot of family values and stuff like that. But what I don't like is the fact that certain cultures will try and impose themselves upon you and get you to be their way or treat you with disrespect because you're a European person or have white ethnicity. I think that the biggest pain with this though is that there is a lot of people who will say, well, that's racist. But the thing is, if you go to your neighbor's house, you abide by their house rules. Like, if they have a sign saying, please take your shoes off, you will take your shoes off. And I think that a lot of people do forget that we also have our ways and our laws and all that kind of stuff here. Like, I've seen punch-ons on trains before. Like, I've had when I used to go to St. Albans train station, I used to regularly be late to class because there would be regular fights on the trains which would stop the train from running. Like, we would literally have to wait for the police and the paramedics to get there, get interviewed, and then we could go to school. I was late to my year 11 exams over that. And that was due to them being complete a-holes, and it was to do with gang affiliation. And it was, I believe it was a Somalian gang versus the Vietnamese gang that was always causing these issues at that area. And a lot of people seem to not know about this, especially in the east side of Victoria where I live now. Now, I'm not saying that it's because of their race or culture or anything, but I do understand that that could be an underlining part of why these incidents happen. And the more and more people that do come in, the more and more culture we experience, and the more and more things that change. Like, if you look at an ecosystem, for instance, years and years ago, we got frogs, or toads, sorry, and brought them to Australia. There became a huge toad issue in Australia, which actually destroyed a lot of the ecosystem. I can see it being like that. Like, I don't know if you can see, I'm very much on the fence with this whole thing. I do believe that to an extent, we should be able to experience some form of multiculturalism. However, I do also feel like those people who come overseas need to respect our country's guidelines and respect our culture. Because I have had times where there has been people who have come overseas. I've explained terms and stuff like that. I've explained you can't say certain things in public to people. And I've been told that, well, this country is a bunch of prudes. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, like, it's just how our country works. Anyway, I guess I will leave it at that. Hopefully this is a good discussion topic about it. What do you guys think about multiculturalism versus multi-ethnicity? Because I think it's very interesting to sort of discuss, analyze, and see if there's problems with it and see if there's not problems with it. Take the good and take the bad and analyze it. And yeah, so thoughts down below. Bye.
Hún sá hann aldrei aftur eftir að hann hvarf í nætur. Húmið hann var þjakaður og þjáður þegar hann hvarf út í nætur. Húmið